Mother's Day was yesterday, and this one is for them. This one is for you, the mothers, and how this every aspect, every skill, every trait that you have, that mothers have, ties directly into ones that our athletes should be training for their mental and overall performance. So let's get into it. If you are new here, my name is Gabe Rummel. I'm the founder of The Athlete's Health, creator of this mental performance playbook, our podcast, our episode series, where we drop actionable exercises for free for athletes or for the people with the athletes, the coaches, the parents, to apply immediately. If you are new here, my only ask is to either one, share the show or give it a follow and 5-star review. But I promise you, you're going to want to share this episode. So without further into it, let's get into it. And I have it in my notes on the computer today. They're not on my notebook that we've been using, but we're going to get into this. You see, yesterday was Mother's Day. And the reason this episode was not dropped as early on today's Monday as I want to do, because I'm recording it this morning, is because we were spending some time with the mothers yesterday. But this episode is inspired by Mother's Day. Now, I want you to hear about this story from my grandmothers and then my mom still to this day. It seemed like no matter what you were going up to them for, no matter what you were going to talk about, they knew. They had this certainty, this instinct behind them, this drive that no one else had, but they just knew it. And this intuition, it was never turned off. And that is the exact trait or traits that we want our athletes to be performing with. And that is what we train. And so today we're going to have 3 exercises that we're going to go through that are going to train these that we are going to do. Now, if you build all 3 of these into whatever athlete you know of or yourself into that game plan, it is going to set you up for a great season. I promise you that. I will have actual stories from all of these and just how they've impacted people. So let's get into it. Exercise number 1, the certainty instinct. Wow. The certainty instinct. Mom knows before you even say a word. Before a word is even said, mom knows. And I know you're going to know this too. Everyone had a mom at one point. That moms do not wait for confirmation. They already know. They're already doing it. And we want to make sure our athletes are training with that same certainty. You know, before the competitions, before the big games, during it, after those pressure moments. That's the moment, you know, when the uncertainty starts to creep in. So before it and after it, we really want to make sure that that certainty is there. And that is what we want to train first and foremost and take away from Mother's Day. Now, this can start with an exercise of visualization. Now, I know that's a general term, so I'm going to walk through different pieces of that. That can be confidence pieces and seeing the performance. That can be self-talk and what we're actually saying to ourselves, because that does make an impact. That does not just mean it's rhyming off affirmations, but that means what we're saying to ourselves. That can be looking at past performances. That can be looking at all of our preparation we put into it. There's a lot more that goes into visualization than meets the eye. And so this athlete who walks through all these pieces in vivid detail, that then when they step out there, they already have a decision made. They already know what they're doing before they're even stepping onto the field or to the court. There are certain pieces that they are certain about before that pressure even arrives. I was talking to a mom the other day, like Friday last week, about this very thing. And then their son texted me this weekend of using one of our visualization scripts at TAH and all his stats for all of his games and how well that going through that visualization, because that's what we added to him, this visualization script, pregame script for him. It set him up for success, how it calmed his nerves, how it got him composed, how it got him certain for what he was going to do. You see, because if we don't have to wait for the moment to decide how we are going to respond, we can train for that certainty before the pressure shows up. That was a quote I wrote down that I really wanted to talk about in this piece. Exercise number 2 is that mama bear mode. This is that explosiveness, the fearlessness, the protective intensity, the grizzly bear running 30 miles an hour. That's what we're talking about here in exercise number 2, mama bear instinct. There's no hesitation. There's no negotiation. When it's time to protect what matters, all in. And we want the athletes to do the same thing for this, whether that's an individual sport or a team sport, across any level that they are at. Full on attack mode. Now, this can look like before a competition, identifying what we're actually protecting, prepping that, whether it's the team, the work, the family's legacy, the family's sacrifice. We don't always want to go there, but that's another piece. It might be a motivator. All of a sudden, these are going to activate those. You can think about the flight and fight pathways that we always hear about, the protective identity. It's not aggression just for its own sake, but it's a relentless intensity in serving something bigger than self. And when we do this, when we put it even the pressure off of ourselves and what we need to do for ourselves. So we put it into someone else. This mom bear does not think twice. They just do it. They just act. And we now will train our athletes to compete like this. So something that they love besides themselves is on the line. So then they have other motivation, other drive, and it kicks them into hyper gear. And then hopefully too, they have something to fall back on. They have something, a compassion piece, because that actually brings us into exercise number 3 of compassionate, but getting it done. This is that team leader standard. And this is vice versa, because there's going to be other people like this. That's where I was just getting at. Actual mama bear after the game, no matter what, is always there. But we can also be that compassionate and getting it done person. It's that team leader standard, because our mom will usually be the first one to hug us after a game, after a time we're hurt, after any time we need it. And if it's something like my family, yeah, usually the first one to tell you to get back up, to keep going, to tell you how it is. Hold both at once, that they do both, that deep care and that high accountability. And that is also the definition of a great team leader. And that is what we can try to instill, or we can have our athletes try to instill. And we can use this accountability anchor or this compassionate accountability exercise, where if it's a tough loss or a mistake, lead with that empathy. Hey, I see you. I'm with you. I think I understand why we did this, but then we got to pivot immediately into the standard. But here is what we are doing next, right? It's not drama. It's not blame, but it's care plus direction. And that is going to equal growth, because the best moms in the room know exactly when to hold you and when to push you forward, because both of those will hopefully move us forward. And that's leadership. That's training it. And that is what we want to train. So I wrote these down on the screen here. I'm going to make sure that we understand the summary here so you can take these exercises away. The 3 exercises to take away from the mom playbook here today is the certainty instinct. We have to know before the moment arrives and be certain of it. Number 2, that mama bear mode. Compete with that full, fearless intensity. And number 3, the compassionate accountability. We got to care deeply and we need to lead firmly. Once again, if we instilled all 3 of these, we are not just going to be a better performer. Our athletes are not just going to be better performers. Athletes are going to be better teammates. They're going to be better leaders. They're going to be a better person. It's going to be the start of a great season. I know summer seasons starting up. The spring to summer travel ball seasons are about maybe halfway done, not even. Share this with a coach or another parent, an athlete, a mom who needs to hear this to help train this season's athletes. And then my last call to action, it's not to share the show. It's not to give it a 5-star review and follow. Just go talk to your mom. It's a day after Mother's Day. Shouldn't ever stop. I know that's what we try to do here. So I will catch you next week. My name is Gabe Rummel. founder of the Athlete's Health Mental Performance Playbook. Hope you have a good week instilling some of these lessons from mothers. Peace.